Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse and to another Warehouse interview. Tonight, DC and I would like to welcome Donnie Vie to the show. Donnie used to be in Enuff Z'Nuff. He's a solo artist now. Well, he's been a solo artist. And he's got a new label, a new song. Oh, and what a joy to talk to. All right, let's get started. Donnie Vie, ladies and gentlemen.
We serve solos with a side of swagger. Extra loud on request. Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse and to another Warehouse interview. Tonight, I want to welcome Donnie Vie, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is a Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, one of rock's most distinctive melodic voices. We're talking, when I look at Donnie, I think power pop with a little bit of grit on top. What do you think of that, Donnie? Does that sound about right?
You forgot pro experimentalist.
And ladies and gentlemen, he's a
Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Forgot the Hall of Fame.
Yes, we're
I
getting
got
there.
the trophy to prove it.
Damn it, he has a trophy, so you know he means business. Yes.
Right.
So yes, he was inducted to the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Founding lead vocalist, primary songwriter, guitarist for Enuff Z'Nuff back in the day. He's been in and out of the band. He's doing a solo thing pretty much, since the early 2000s, roughly?
Early 2000s. I left a couple of times. I left the first time was in 2000. I was in pretty bad shape, and there was no point in continuing to do it at that point. And they just continued on, and I came back to the band, I think in 2007 or something like that. I missed it. You know, I just got divorced. When I got married is when I left the band. It's kind of like choose
shit.
one. Yeah, but I needed the rest. I was promised a whole different life than what ended up happening. I got tricked, but so I was done. I was done with that, and I missed playing. I missed being Donnie Vie and all this and that, you know. And so I got back in. We made a great record, but all of the original issues that I'd had with my former partner, with Chip, stuff, they still all existed, and all of the same reasons for everything were still there, including my reasons and his reasons. Everything were still there, and so it didn't feel good for quite a while. You know, a lot of it's my fault. You know, I wasn't in the best frame of mind and shape. You know, I mean, later there's a lot of things that I've recently in the past few years have discovered as far as my mental health and things like that issues that I had that would have been helpful to know while I was going through my life, you know, like autism, you know, that's a big one right there when you're trying to self-medicate autism, you know, that's a tricky one there. Yeah. So,
yeah, exactly.
You know, but you know, I've never actually worked with him in a completely, you know, sober frame of mind, but I don't imagine I think that would probably be harder.
Yeah. A complete relationship.
You remember VH1 Behind the Music? This is a perfect one.
That's how we got back together, was behind the music thing.
Did you do that already?
Yeah, we did that. That's why we got back together. They had got me back to put the band back together for that show, Behind the Music. No, Bands on the Run.
Oh, Bands on the Run.
VH1 special, yeah. And we were up against the chick that sang "I Want Candy." That band, yeah.
Bow Wow Wow.
Bow Wow Wow.
Yeah. They got them back together and got us back together. There's some big contests and stuff. You had to travel with your band. I didn't travel because the whole thing with us was reuniting. I hadn't seen them guys in like 6 years or so, and then we got all back together in the room, did a show, and everybody was getting along and this and that. It was cool, and so we started to make a record, and it just went from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, VH1, man, MTV, VH1, those guys, they've been really great to us through the years.
Right in your corner, from the get-go.
Back in the early days of Enuff Z'Nuff, you guys were like a staple on MTV.
Yeah, for 15 minutes, you know.
Well, I mean, I remember back in the day, you guys were, they loved you on MTV. Yeah, you know, everything's 15 minutes, you know.
Well, what we did and the way we did it solidified that it would be 15 minutes, you know. I kind of felt that from the get-go. I was never natural in that sort of genre that we ended up in. The whole way the band came together and the players that were in the band, none of that was natural for me. Chip felt natural because he kind of fast-tracked me from That's the first band I really been in. The first real band was Enuff Z'Nuff. You know, I mean, I was just went from nothing to that. So I had a lot of learning to do and but there was a lot of valuable steps along the way that I bypassed, went from here to here that were very, very necessity to, to evolving and to build something that won't fall apart, And so when you're playing with guys that didn't have, I mean, the drummer that I had, he was like a Motley Crue fan, Poison, Motley Crue, stuff like that. My guitar player, he thought I wrote Dear Prudence. He thought I wrote it. So he didn't even know anything, no familiarity with the Beatles or Power Pop or Motown or any of that stuff.
My.
I'm all Motown and the Beatles, and then they're bringing in some Aerosmith and Queen and different things like that, which is, I hear things, but I used to listen to music when I was a kid. I don't listen to music.
You don't
anymore.
listen to music anymore.
No, I have every streaming channel.
Well, that's interesting that you mentioned that, Donnie, because without even knowing what you told us, that you just didn't feel comfortable with how you guys were being pigeonholed. When I first heard you guys, the song New Thing, I'm thinking, oh man, this is right in my sweet spot. But then I watched the video and I'm thinking, it's kind of there, but that's not what these cats are all about.
It took that glam-metal thing. It's like, that wasn't me. That they turned me into that for this. I mean, at heart, Beatles, it's Snap, but punk rock. That's New Thing. When I heard that song in my head, when I wrote it, I heard it as punk rock, Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so whiny and just like so, in your face and stuff. And it was punk rock. And like, my car wrote the riff. My car would when
what you did there, you created that perfect balance of everything that you're talking about as far as these genres you were mixing together with the punk, with the Beatles influence.
Punk didn't come through though. It's for some reason it translated in a different way, and so instead of thinking of it came out more, glammy. People listen with their eyes, not their ears, and I had a feeling, I knew that we're going to be the last guys on this train. We should have been the first guys on the next train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I would have just looked like I did before, they fucking shined me up, would have been in business,
Well, how do you feel? How do you feel about that first album? How it came off? Because when I'm not being critical, but it almost sounds like, based on what you described, it sounds like that album came out much differently than what you might have expected.
By that point, the songs that Chip and I had written and demoed, there was probably 100 or more songs to choose from. We had a manager at the time that owned a big recording studio, so we were demoing in like professional studios and stuff for. Awesome. That was a good perk of that situation. There's a lot of negatives to that, but that and the big bags of cocaine to make you write all that stuff like that.
Yeah, the coke that'd be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a party. That's kind of basically what it turned into. It just from the get-go, it was a party thing. I knew that when Derek was going to get in, I knew if he got in the band, I knew it was over. Me and him were just going to be, and exactly that happened, but like it's like I struggled with the production of that, it just was the most basic, simple, obvious production you could possibly use for power pop songs that turned into a metal version of something like that. You know what I mean? And it's like there's no genre to focus in on, and of course that look's going to go. The whole things are and as far as the glam I was shooting for was like the stuff of the 70s and stuff, not like glam like. I mean, we only
Sunset Strip in LA. Yeah,
you only needed one Poison.
You didn't want to look like Poison Rejects.
You only needed one of each of these bands, and that's the problem with happened at the end of the 80s is it was so saturated and there was so many bands and it's hard to even tell some of them apart or if you even wanted to, and then everything, it was bound to explode, but it could have if it had a more natural thing to it. would have been able to survive through all of the eras and genres, because like Tom Petty or somebody did. I'm just Donnie, doing my thing throughout whatever era goes by. I'm still here doing my thing, and so life is a learning experience, and wisdom is wasted on the old.
And the timing, like you say, was so imperative because visuals never played more important role than the era of MTV.
Yeah.
What you put out there visually, that's how everybody was framing to. And then the music, it
worked.
But
for that, for
certainly
that
you were made for
thing.
MTV.
Every guy in the band was cool, had the cool look and stuff. I was the ugly duckling when we first started out. Look at my drummer. I still think it was a girl that aren't familiar with the band.
The name doesn't help.
Derek was amazing player, but that was just all natural ability. He had no clue of the style of music that I wrote or anything. So he's just basically, just jamming. He's just jamming on 3 records. But
incredible.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. That's interesting because, like I say, not even knowing this about you and how you felt about how the band was being presented, me as a lover of music, when I saw that video, your early videos, I'm thinking, nah, this is not what this band is all about. I'm picking up much more than what they're trying to showcase or pigeonhole these guys into.
Yeah, see, it's difficult for the people that love the things that I grew up loving. If you love the Beatles, you'll probably like what I do. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So the people that grew up with that are not the same people that love metal and stuff like that. People do love them both, but it's 2 different completely circles, which you don't usually see at the same concert, and we try, we kind of would do that, and we never fit with the glam thing, though. We did, but like our first tour, we opened with was Mr. Big. That was our very first tour. Was Mr. Big. Those guys were. We used to make fun of them at photo sessions, because they'd be there right before us and stuff. Like, you got no makeup on, this and that. It's like, yeah, we showed them, but we would go on. We would go on. Our fans would be packed to the back of the place because their fans are up to the front. We go on to this. Fuck you guys. These guys are players and stuff, but we were players. So by the end of the show, when everybody's shirts are off, getting just sweated out, the makeup's all run down and shit. And it's just 4 sweaty, grubby guys. People were always, even the band, even Mr. Big, they'd be back. They loved us because we had strong songs, and everybody is such a strong player, So at that particular thing that we did at that time, we did it really, really well. But that thing, seeing what happened, it doesn't matter. It could have been if John Lennon or the Beatles or whatever would have been in that genre right then at that happening, they'd have been out too. You know what I mean? So
it just was beyond your control, really, because everybody was setting the agenda for this band and everything. And it wasn't true to your heart. You guys brought something really fresh to the equation. I'm not just blowing smoke. Here's all my
look at him Donnie, showing off
CDs.
That's all you got?
That's all
I got a couple more.
DC?
One fell on the floor, and then I got a couple more. But I've got all Donnie's stuff here. And your latest album, I got that on digital download.
Can you see this back here? Can
Yes,
you
sir.
see that at all? See all of those things around that picture of me there? Those little squares? Every one of those things is something that has been released that had written and sang or whatever the hell. They're all little, I can't be held accountable for anything after I left the band, though. None of those records can I be held accountable for that. But as far as up until that point, and I can't be held accountable for greatest hits and all of these things that keep getting released and stuff. But that's a hell of a stack.
This is what we were talking about before we started recording here, is the prolific nature of your songwriting and the top shelf level of the songs that you write. It's astounding to me. And you're one of those very few songwriters that can do that.
I try harder. I try harder.
Memorable,
I think I try harder.
Bless your heart.
Memorable. The vocals are fantastic. The instrumentation and when to bring this in or when to pull back on that.
It's magic.
It is magic. And you're, like I said, this is really exciting for me because, like I said, I've been a fan of Enuff Z'Nuff and you as a solo artist, but your songwriting and the amount of high quality material over a career, man, you should be so proud of yourself.
Thank you. I am. This latest record, Beautiful Things, that's the very first time I ever actually achieved my vision exactly how I'd seen it. It's like in my book, in the Donnie Vie world, it's a perfect record. The record is perfect. I mean, it's just, but the live production and my writing style and stuff is I'll get this idea, that's like given to me like a little gift, and so I have to do all the work and use my experience and skills to build the whole rest of the song around it and what it's about. But I let the songs tell me who they want to be. I mean, I follow. And then you'll just hear something, trying this, try that, and all of a sudden you'll feel the gears lock like a lock, the combination stuff, and it's like magic. All of a sudden, it's just these couple parts just lock together, and it's like, holy cow, look what just happened there, and you wouldn't think that. So, it's like the song tells me, and then it has to tell me. I'll hear the vowels and syllables for like the lyrics or something. Then it has to tell me what it's about. I don't know what it's about either. So I'm trying to write lyrics and stuff. And I find out, at the end of it, there's nothing better than when it's finally at least demoed and I can go listen to it real loud in my earbuds and I can hear all the parts there. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
And it's all there. It's just, sorry. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry about that.
He had forgot to hit record.
Oh God, if I forgot to do that, we're in trouble.
I'd hang out with you guys. You guys are fun.
Thing is,
go ahead,
DC. Grant.
Well, okay.
That's part of the magic of a top shelf songwriter is you've got all these ideas and you're crafting a song. All those parts are there. And then there's that magic moment where everything just comes together, and it's just like it may take a longer time on one song as opposed to another, but they're all there, and then that confluence of ideas all comes together for the chef's kiss moment.
Yeah, those really good ones, they're written a lot faster than you would think. Like Fly Michelle was written, I wrote that on walking to get NyQuil at 7-Eleven because me and Frigo couldn't get booze on a Sunday morning. So I'm walking to NyQuil, and by the time I got back from that trip, I went right to the 8-track machine, and me and Derek stayed up the whole rest of the night, which is no surprise, recording Fly Michelle. And by the morning, I had a version of it that sounds almost exactly like the record version of the song. It's just a little more organic. But that's before, I have a lot of control over what Derek played when I'd have him one-on-one and right there. And if I happen to be holding the bag or whatever's going on, so it's just like, you play this, now play that. And then
here you go.
But yeah, the demos would often be, well, you can hear the demos because they're being released. All kinds of things are being released.
Hey, Grant, we're gonna get to that. Yeah.
Can I jump in for a second just so that this thought doesn't leave my head?
Go ahead, DC. I don't want you to lose a thought.
I need a minute timer. My sister's going to get me a minute timer for my answers.
You talked about your latest album, Beautiful Things. I have to say that the title track on that album, In a Just World, would have jettisoned right to the top of the charts. That is such
isn't that beautiful?
It is a beautiful song. That just in every way.
Now imagine how putting that together. Like we hear in Paul Gilbert's, like I had no idea what he was going to do on the guitar in the beginning there. I'd sent him the song, will you play on this? And he's like, absolutely. So he does great slide and stuff. And when he sent it back, it's like there's this whole fucking guitar solo jam thing in the very beginning. And the guy that was mixing the record for me, a co-producer, he was freaking out. He's like, what the fuck are we going to do with this? I can't know what to do with this. And it's like, well, you better figure out what to do with it because it's Paul Gilbert. And that's why you get Paul Gilbert to play on your shit. And if you don't figure out what to do with that, he's never going to play any of my shit again. So, and then, but then you hear that stuff. And then I took a keyboard and started going, whatever he was playing, I started going backwards at the same time. And then threw some delays and then threw a little ooh in there and stuff. And all of a sudden that beautiful opening sounds like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory or something. It's just like all those colors and flavors. Just magic. It's like
it's all those little little touches all coming together to create this Beautiful, beautiful song. I had to make sure because I did write it in my notes. I wanted to make sure that I told you. Yeah, I try. I tried
the jellyfish guy playing strings and keys and stuff on my record. How can you get better than the jellyfish guy? Yeah.
Yeah, we're big
Roger
fans of the
Manning
Jellyfish guys too.
They're amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing band.
Those two Jellyfish albums, Donnie, absolutely brilliant.
There's 3 actually. Unless I just was privy to a third one that never got.
I think you were privy.
Go ahead, spill the beans.
I don't know. I mean, there's no beans to spill. I don't even have any of my own records. I don't have any fucking records. But
I saw
those records. They did.
Go ahead.
Their look. They didn't go with the glam thing, and they went with kind of like a hippie-ish type look and stuff like that. But they just happened to be out at that time. You know what I mean? Everything just went. It's the labels flipped upside down. That's what happened, but I'm sorry.
No, what they were Jellyfish, I always put up on another level. Absolutely fantastic. I think maybe timing for them had something to do with it. And of course, yeah, the label, or were they on Charisma?
Like Ming, I got no time. Ming, I got no time.
Oh,
Ming.
Yeah. But fantastic stuff. Fantastic. But Roger Manning, his solo albums.
Oh, and Imperial Drag, the thing he did with Eric Dover, and yeah, it's great stuff. And it's like, and so, fortunately, I'm able to. That's the one good thing about the internet and this and that. You're able to reach out and be able to do things with some of these guys, you know. And some of these guys want a little bit more money, but other guys are happy to do it, you know. And those are the guys I'm looking, guys I can pay in compliments, you know.
Well, that's kind.
Well, you and Enuff Z'Nuff were right at the top of the list of groups that we wanted to give more love to and focus people's attention on when I first started joining Grant's little enterprise here. It was like, we've got to cover Enuff Z'Nuff. We've got to cover Jellyfish. We've got to cover the Posies. There were about 5 or 6. The Wonder Mids.
Remember the Vines?
Oh, yeah.
The Vines
were great. Yeah. Now, he made me look like a kid when talking about self-sabotage. You know, they think that kid, like, oh my God, he imploded. Yeah, that's a shame, too. A very, very talented kid.
I might have a Vine. I might have a Vines album, I think, on vinyl. I'm going to have to look.
The first record is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I think I've got.
They were just getting started, too. I don't know. I mean, they probably got a million records out, too, just like I do. You know what I mean? But everybody thinks I died in a plane crash after flying Michelle. You know, so they're seeing these guys again. You know,
well, you're here today, so they know you exist.
Right.
I'd like to.
I'm proof of that.
But you've started a whole new chapter, as far as I'm concerned, because this year you signed with Wicked Cool, which is Steven Van Zant's label.
Yeah,
and you just put out the first single, Plain Jane, and that's what really got me turned on to getting you on this channel, because I heard that track and I went, boom, that's right up the alley here in the Warehaus. That is,
thank you.
Exactly.
I always thought that was like the whole thing. All I've ever asked for was just a platform of let the songs, can they be heard? If they can just be heard, then I'll take whatever the results are from that, you know, just to be heard. And usually the stuff is, you know, people are very receptive to most of the stuff that I do. Now that I finally picked a direction, you know, keep going this way and that at the same time.
Very
you can get that
pop,
record at DonnieVie.com. I got to remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. I was forgetting. They get pissed off at me.
Say it again, Donnie. Say it again.
DonnieVie.com is where you can get all this shit.
And Donnie, I wanted to ask you, now the Plain Jane is from your last solo album. Are you working on a new album with Wicked Cool, or can we expect a new album
in the pipeline?
Well, before Wicked Cool, I don't think anything was going to be in the pipeline anymore. I kind of shut that whole department down for. Wow. I just, you know, I've turned into a grouchy, grumpy old man. You know, you got grumpy old man ailments and can't hear, can't see, and just like this to everything and this and that. And so, hooking up with the Wicked Cool deal, that came together very quickly. As I knew Steven in the old days. You know, he'd come out to the studio and stuff and listen to songs, and he was always, you know, I really respected him. He had the things that he would say made sense to me as an artist and stuff. And I wished he would have produced, you know, it would have been good if he'd have produced some stuff, but you know, it's never too late. But I reached out to him just though my girlfriend was talking about politics and stuff about him, and I was like, I know him. She goes, yeah, he's got a radio program. They got music and play. I heard and I've heard a couple of times somebody tell me that he played some song or Enuff Z'Nuff song. Or I reached out to him and just asked, hey man, how you doing? How do I submit to your label? He goes, what do you got? I sent him Beautiful Things and the next song, Plain Jane. I think I sent those two songs. He wrote back, you're in. That was it.
Oh my God. How could he not? How could he not?
Gave me another guy's number to call. Now he goes, you're in. Here's the number. Okay, thanks. Good. I'll see you running into you at the club sometime. But no, this is the first actual real record deal, like with an actual, like they're a scaled down version of the old fashioned major labels. You know, they do everything that way again. They got their radio department, A&R department. Go out and get your songs on radio, your videos or whatever they got to do. They got the promotional department, you know, it sets all this wonderful stuff up. They got, you know what I mean? And they releasing a single, you know what I mean? Releasing a single 45, a label doing that, you know, it's, they got a great roster, and hopefully we're going to team up with some of those bands and some shows. And
it's a great great introduction for you, Donnie, and it's so novel to be putting out a single 7-inch. The graphics on the single look fantastic. Everything's top shelf.
This is the only way I ever would have even entertained writing another record. I've got a record, you know, it's to top Beautiful Things, I think, is a pretty difficult thing, but I always make sure that I try to do that the next record to keep me involved and keep me enthused and stuff. And you know, I'm always looking. I've lately been looking for something new, like a collaborating. So maybe with Steven would be a great opportunity. You know.
Yeah, fantastic. Well,
I say
when I listen to Plain Jane, I'm just saying it fits the Wicked Cool label perfectly because it's right up Wicked Cool's alley. And people that I've also talked to always speak very highly of the label. And exactly, they have like exactly what you said. It's very much like record labels of the old days, the way they carry on.
It's like the shorter period of time, they've just started playing the song a few days ago or whatever. And that short amount of time right there, the old crusty, rusted needle has started to jiggle again. You know, you can start to see it. It's like I'm getting more, you know, exposure and people, you know, hey, you know, just like I said, thought he died in a plane crash a million years ago. So hearing it again, oh, there he is, you know, and liking the song. And like I said, that's all I ever really asked for was just for these poor songs to be heard, you know. I don't have a bunch of children to take care of me as I'm falling apart and as an old man and stuff like that, you know. And so I need my kids. Those are my kids. They got to go to work and take care of the old man.
Well,
but Donnie, you're not that old. It was just that rock and roll lifestyle.
I'm older than everybody.
Oh, not older than DC here.
Not older than me. So? No one's older than me.
How old are you?
I'm 69.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're older.
I am. I get it all the time.
I'm just razzing DC up.
Some days I'm 80, you know, some days.
All four of these solo albums are tremendous. But like you say, there are some really special moments on Beautiful Things that I do agree. I think that is the best album of the four, although all four are tremendous.
Those weren't really recorded as set out to make records on those things. Like the first one was a session I got together with this guy, and we were writing songs to submit for other artists. That's why it's all stripped back down to acoustic guitars and things like that. Though. So you don't have any pigeonholing or anything. And as things didn't necessarily materialize out of that, all right, well, I'll release it, you know. And then the White Album was just out of Enuff Z'Nuff, basically fired. You know, I was at the reached complete rock bottom. I couldn't basically, you know, I always think rock bottom, but then there's another trap door that goes lower. But with that one, that was it. You know, I was just like holed up with a bunch of drugs or whatever and made that just all by myself on my laptop. And it sounds like it, you know, and it sounds like exactly like the frame of mind that I was in. And then Wrapped Around My Middle Finger kind of came together as trying to do one thing, tried to do a different thing, and then it ended up having to go back and just do my thing, you know, and I knew how to do that. And so then I had another record, but those records have never been really released or anything. They've just been put out.
And what a great tune that Wrapped Around My Middle Finger is. That's a real throwback to your Enuff Z'Nuff days. Catchy, it rocks. It's catchy as hell. Just a tremendous tune. And while I'm thinking of it, you own all this. Would Wicked Cool consider maybe doing Donnie's Dozen or something? Take your 12 tracks from these. Okay.
That's a whole new whole new email thread that I started just earlier this week. I said I need to talk to you guys about that. There's some other places that have been trying to get me to put my catalog, and I'm not. There's no way that I would do that. I even own all my Enuff Z'Nuff songs again.
Okay.
We just got
fantastic.
We just got the first 2 records back, which were the moneymaker ones that we didn't get those till 2023 is when they reverted back to us, and took a little wheeling and dealing to get it. But now I have that record. I got.
Well, do you guys own the masters then, or no? It's just the publishing.
Yeah.
Well, the masters
exist. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I have a master's of the beautiful things. It's got a converter.
We might want to track that.
Rip that off.
We may need to get a staff on there to track down that master tape.
I think so. We need to. But I think with your hooking up with Wicked Cool, and the single is a great introduction to your music. But I think if they put out a CD of your solo stuff, you pick your top 12 tracks and put that baby right out there, right on back of the single, while you can cobble together what you need to for a new album. Man, that would be blockbusters.
Damn, DC, you should be working for Wicked Cool yourself.
I made like a greatest hits type thing just for a tour that didn't materialize, and so it's like a 10-song thing, and it's kind of hilarious. You were saying Wrapped Around My Middle Finger, because I covered such a versatile styles of music, and that's one thing I did like about my solo stuff. I just do whatever I want. So this song's heavy, that song, but I'll be listening to this greatest hits thing, and that song will come on. It's like after a couple of songs off my first record, and they're. It's like they're brought down, and even some have a country vibe, and all.
Yes,
I did. And some love song, and Wrapped Around My Middle Finger. Yeah, it's funny, and then you keep going and listening. You can hear the evolution, in the solo thing. That record. It's funny.
That's funny that you mentioned that, Donnie, because from Beautiful Things, when I was just making some notes about the tracks, I put the song Whatever at dash kind of a country shuffle, because you're pulling in from a lot of various influences, and it all works, and it all sounds like Donnie Vie. And that's the trick, because when it feels artificial to my ears, I can tell. But when I listen to the vast array of approaches you take, I say, yeah, that's Donnie. And Wrapped Around Your Middle Finger, when I got that CD, that song got to the end, repeat.
There's about the Wingers, the one I did with Winger. He played and sang on a song with me on that record. It's called Now You Know.
Okay.
Listen to that song. It's a great fucking song. I can't even believe, I don't think people are aware of it. It's a great song. He sings his ass off on it, play bass and stuff. Send it out to him.
You got a treasure trove of material here with the Enuff Z'Nuff stuff, but with the solo stuff that I think it would be dynamite to cobble together. You pick them, your dozen, and put them out on a CD, man. It's top shelf material.
I got a flash drive. I don't know if it's hanging there. It's like a flash drive. It looks just like a laminate.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at, but it's got all my solo stuff on it. There's like 7 records worth of stuff on it. Even Beautiful Things is on it. I shouldn't probably be hyping, but you can buy it on DonnieVie.com, and it's got all those.
No, hype it. That's why you're here. I want you to hype it.
That's the only place you can get any of them, unless you find one of my records on eBay or something for $150, but I can't afford that.
Let me ask you this, though. With all the great, DC's winning a lot of these fantastic songs. The B-side to Plain Jane is Instant Karma. And now you easily could have put something from your solo career on there, but what was it about Instant Karma, and what does that track mean to you, and why did you record a version of it and choose that for the B-side?
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy for who chose the song to go on the B side.
Okay.
That was a label's call.
Mm.
Oh,
They wanted to use bonus because there's like 4 or 5 bonus tracks this time around with Beautiful
okay.
Things, and it's remastered and stuff. But that song, I almost died. I was my pancreas melted about 6 or 7 years ago
Ugh.
or whatever, and right after I'd made Beautiful Things, and so it was something that came together with the fans' energy and this and that, and I kind of had a quick demo of I'd done of Instant Karma just because I love to some occasionally see how I could do it this song or whatever, and just do it all myself and shit. And a couple different artists and musicians and stuff. It's too many to even remember or think about. And video people got together, and I came out of the hospital a month later. Hit the ground running, and we went and shot that video out in the. My buddy Rob had a piano brought out onto the middle of that pier. There's a video for it. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's we put the whole theme is for anti-bullying. The video is for anti-bullying because it's all these. It rolls the credits at the end of the song of the ages of these kids that have killed themselves because of bullying and stuff like that. And I was bullied, and a lot of people are. And so we went with that whole theme for the thing, and we all shine on. We got a whole student body of kids from a whole high school singing along on it. And it was all came together out of love and energy. And so. I never would have in a million years thought to release it, on my record or anything. I hope I don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? But I hope I don't get in trouble.
I think you're okay.
I think you're
Yeah,
okay.
the label chose that one, and I'm glad they did because, it's a great song, and it's a perfect time for a song like that, and John Lennon maybe had something to do with it happening, but
Who knows? Very possible.
I do want to mention that, yes, the single Plain Jane with the flip side, Insta Karma, is available. You can buy it, get it on the
DonnieVie.com.
single, DonnieVie.com. You can get the single. You can download it. It's fantastic. I did want to tell you, Don, I've heard
There
it.
it is.
They
There it
play
is.
it on Little Steven's Underground Garage.
It's even got the big hole in it. The 45, like
Yeah,
the
it's
old
what-
days.
Yeah,
You got to find that little thing to stick in there to play.
A little plastic. Yeah.
great.
It's top shelf all the way. Like I say, the graphics on that single, fantastic.
Here's the entire record when they finally release it.
Oh,
There
I
you
can
go,
hardly
yeah.
wait.
These are
That-
these are all fans.
Cool. Is
They're
there
fans'
a
pictures they
date
sent
for
in,
that? Do they have a date for that?
I believe May 22nd.
All right.
May 22nd, I believe I'm not very good. I have to record everything any meetings and stuff, so I don't remember. I don't remember what I'm saying half the time through the question.
Well,
done it
you've
a
been
couple
very
times here.
coherent today,
Oh,
Donnie.
there
I'm
have been no
just gonna-
problems today.
No
Yeah, I
problems
think
today.
May they're going to release the whole record.
All right,
so.
cool. Awesome.
There's a couple more greatest songs in the world they're going to do off the
Oh.
record before they do. Yeah, so which is our coolest song in the world or whatever it's what
Yeah,
what
you're
they
going to be
title
on
it.
that?
Yeah, they're going to be releasing a few more this year off that record, and
Fantastic.
I was told that they don't usually do that. Steven has never done that, but hope that doesn't mean I'm four times cooler than everybody else on it.
Well, as far as I'm
No, I don't
concerned,
think-
Well,
I definitely
hey, by
I know
coming
I'm
on
not.
the
I
Warehouse,
definitely
Donnie,
know
you're
that.
very cool now.
I know me. I know me. It's
I
not
might
that
be
big
a little
deal.
biased. I might be a little biased.
I mean, you're way cool now. But, the caliber of songwriting that you've achieved, I'm not surprised that they wouldn't use you for more of those coolest songs in the world.
Use me, abuse me. Do
I mean-
whatever you
I
want.
mean, you're-
It's like they've been doing it to me my whole life. At least this is good results.
Yeah.
These are good people, and it's very loving and respectful, and we have a mutual respect. Who usually has any respect for label people anymore that you're dealing with a bunch of fucking bozos and what I mean?
I think that's one of the reasons why it's so good that you did hook up with this
Oh man,
with
Yeah.
Wicked Cool, because it seems like their heart is really with the music and getting behind their artists and getting the word out there and getting the product out there and doing it in, like I say, a top shelf way. I mean,
I want to. My goal now is to write and record a few things with Steven.
that'd be cool. That'd be
I got
fantastic.
my agenda there. I'll get him in there. I'll get in the next Sopranos show.
There
No,
you go.
I don't.
If they have a reboot, he'll be on it.
Yeah, get over to Donnie G's tomorrow and you talk to him.
Acting is not easy. I think it would be easy. It's not easy.
We'll send him to Donnie. He can woke him up a bit.
You'll send him over to Donnie V's.
He'll take care of it. Yo, Donnie V, come here. Oh my God.
New York, start spreading the news.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. So
This is a lot of fun, dudes.
Well, we're fun,
Yeah.
Donnie.
We always try to take the interview in more of like a real conversational kind of vibe. We don't want to, and then in 19 blah 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 you know, it's just how the conversation flows.
I dread those, but I welcome them.
I like it that it's just us guys. I like to look at it like this, Donnie. Like we're just guys hanging out at the record store around the counter, just talking music.
That's what makes it. This makes it fun for me. You know what I mean? To sit there and be asked all the usual questions, stuff. I welcome it. I'm appreciative to be anybody wants to hear it anymore. You know, but to just have this conversation, this is a lot more fun. I think people would probably be more informative as well. You know,
I'm just curious. But what happened? What did you burn yourself out on music, or you just got to the point where you think you've heard everything that there is? There's nothing new. Like Eddie Van Halen, I know, did not listen to anything else at all. All he did was concentrate on his music. So I'm kind of looking at you kind of in the same way.
Yeah, I was just kind of over it. I was just done with it. It's no matter what I did, it's like it didn't make any fucking difference. The man with his nose to the grindstone, all I did was grind off my nose. So I was just pretty much out of it. I was done with it, you know. And then so that it's like a magical thing. It's just.
But I feel
only something like this would have revived me and to the point of considering another record and stuff.
But
and
I think
now I have full intentions of it.
Being on Wicked Cool, and I think you're going to be within a good family type of situation, the way the label is. And when I've talked to other people about it that are on that label, it seems to be very
artist focused.
It's for life.
It's like you could do what you want to do, you know,
as long as they like it.
Well, I mean, but you have a lot more freedom. It's not
look
like
at these guys. You're in for life. This is like the mob. You know, so it's like,
back around.
I'll be sleeping with the fishes.
But the thing is, those two tracks you sent Wicked Cool. There is no way anybody that's got any kind of sense about quality songwriting and performing and tunes themselves that they could turn you down, because that's a 1-2 punch. You're getting the Beautiful Things track that's got such a confluence of instrumentation, vocals, little extras, things that the fifth time you hear it, oh, I didn't notice that before. That's so great. And then you follow it up with Plain Jane, which is just, man, meat and potatoes, great power pop tune. So they know you're very versatile, and you know you can create in lots of different musical spheres. There's no way they could turn you down if they got any kind of sense at all. So
no, it's at least he opened the email. That's half the that's half the battle right there.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah, I get somebody to open the fucking email.
Yeah,
get past seeing my name.
I mean, with such a long career, what would you say after all the years? What was the highlight? What was
my career?
What was the thing in your career so far that you can look back and go, "Holy shit, that was a great moment"?
Hopefully, I haven't achieved it yet. A lot of the great moments, I wasn't even in the moment. You know, I was living at another space in my mind. You know, I wasn't appreciating any of the good things, and I wasn't taking advantage of the opportunities to for the future and things. You know, I didn't know anything when I got into this, and young and so inexperienced.
How old were you when you were in the studio recording the first record, and how long? I mean, you guys were playing and stuff, but how long did it take for you to get signed from when the conception of the band? I'm just curious. I don't really know what that.
Well, we had a manager that had a lot of money, and so he would wine and dine. Started wine and dine. He managed Derek, and he kind of consolidated some of his artists together to make
It's kind of like the
Enuff
Sex
Z'Nuff.
Pistols.
And yeah, but he kind of wined and dined. We had a couple labels like Chrysalis came out, Geffen came out, and Capitol originally came out, and we had the same issues that once they seen the band, they started not having as much interest in the band as in fact the guy from Chrysalis told me right there after the show. He goes, if you would have just played like you look now, jeans and whatever. He said I would have enjoyed it a lot more. So with Adco, they came along, and I had never even heard of Adco. I didn't even, I wasn't turning it on or hitting a charm or any of that, but we weren't dressed up. He came out to a rehearsal. Derek Schulman, the president of Echo.
Derek Schulman, Gentle Giant.
He just came to a rehearsal. We already had a record, basically. Our demos, our songs they're basically produced themselves and stuff for Enuff Z'Nuff style. He heard, I think we got through half a song, and Derek broke a string on his guitar, and that was it. We go, oh, that was half a song. I go, that's it. You lost us the deal, and that was all that took him. He signed us right there. We got through half a new thing, and that was it. We had a deal with them, and so, but that a lot. They sure dropped the ball on a lot of things that had to do with the image and all of that stuff like that. That shouldn't have been left to us. We didn't know. I especially me. I didn't know what the fuck.
Well, how old were you at that point?
Oh, geez. I feel like I was a lot younger than I was, but I guess I was older than I thought I was. I think I was at the point where we got signed, probably 21 or 22.
Shit, you're just a kid.
You're a pup.
You're a kid. Donnie, come on. You're a kid.
I mean, but all our shows, from our very first show with Enuff Z'Nuff, is they had a local radio station in Chicago that was very supportive of the bands in those days. And they'd have the countdown every Thursday. There'd be the countdown of who's got the number one song, and the countdown of local bands and stuff. And as soon as they got a song called Catholic Girls, we submitted that. And it was off our demos, which later came out as 1985.
Look at that. Of course, DC's got the damn CD.
I got it right.
That was actually our demos. We recorded, 10 demos, and we called it our record. But none of those songs ended up making on the actual debut record. But they're saying, so that went to number one, Catholic Girls, and so we were instantly popular in Chicago. It's like, oh, the new kid's in town. This new singer. Who's this guy and shit like that. And so when we played our very first Enuff Z'Nuff show, it was already sold out. It was, and so I didn't even hadn't even experienced working my way up and playing for 20 people or any of that stuff like that. It's like, oh my goodness, I go from a shy, insecure little kid to can barely play the guitar to center stage. And
amazing.
Yeah,
starting out. These are stellar tunes, man. You guys just starting out. These are fantastic songs.
Baby pictures, yeah. Those are baby pictures.
You were talking about great moments in your career. Now, I did come across on YouTube you guys' performance when you were inducted into the Illinois Hall of Fame. That had to be a great night for you guys. It seemed like everybody was.
It was bittersweet.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Night. Yeah. It was a wonderful thing for what it was for. What was happening there, but it's been a long time with me and him, and he's now Enuff Z'Nuff it's not mine anymore. It's not anything. Didn't sound or feel like mine. Doesn't look like mine. Enuff Z'Nuff, and so it was a bittersweet thing. And if you could tell that he's uncomfortable moving back over to the number 2 seat and just stuff like that, and so. I'd kind of had made peace with it, and it kind of felt like there was a good closure there. It was a good way to go out. And that performance and stuff, and so it was bittersweet. So it was a great thing, but not a great thing, and we ended up having a little bit of an issue at the end and stuff. So yeah.
Well, I continue to support the band, and on one level, God bless them for keeping the Enuff Z'Nuff name out there.
Bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
But they are sorely missing Donnie Vie.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on those guys.
No.
But like I've told you about 10 times already in this interview, there are very few cats, and I've listened to a lot of music over the course of my life. There are very few songwriters and performers that bring to the table what you do vocally and songwriting. Pow.
Well, you have to admit that there was something
I miss
about
the band
original
too,
lineup.
I miss being a member of a band. You know, I miss that. You know, now it's like my band. It's different. You know, I miss that. I miss, you know, but you know, I don't miss it that bad.
Oh, yeah, you got.
I miss it, but not that much.
Not bad.
Oh crap. Well, I don't have. Do you see anything else you want to add before we wrap this dog up?
I've exhausted most of my questions here for Donnie. I'm just thrilled I've got a chance to speak with him.
DC was the one to come on here because he's
The
all
pleasure
worked
was
up.
mine, man. Thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate it.
Well, I heard the single, and then I got the press release, and I said I'm in because I heard it. They played it on Little Stevens, and I'm just, what the hell is this? I just like changed my world. It's right up my alley. This is what we love. I'm going to say power pop. You know, it's in that power pop Beatlesque genre mode.
That's what I always thought would be a great advertisement. If you love the Beatles, you probably like this.
If you love the Beatles,
yeah,
you love
the B word
Vie.
that could be the kiss of death. The B word.
Well,
you know what I mean?
it
People
was
are
the
like, "Who do you
kiss of
think you
death
are?"
for the
and
knack.
stuff.
Didn't help the
Yeah.
knack any.
I think I'm better than the knack. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but you have to. No,
Done
I
a
love
lot
the
more.
Knack. I love Donnie. Careful, I love the knack.
Of course, I love the knack. They're from Chicago. It's the power of pop, you know, thing that
What
I
is
followed,
yes,
you know?
yeah,
Now,
Chicago.
don't get me in trouble. You can edit that out. Knack fans out there hating
Oh,
on me.
it's
I
they're
get
good.
enough people hating on
Everybody thinks I'm nuts anyway, Donnie. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Chicago. What's in the water? You got you guys in Enuff Z'Nuff. You got the Knack. You got Cheap Trick, who is kind of Chicago adjacent.
I consider
And
Chicago. man.
Rockford.
Yeah, Rockford. And then do you recall a band called Yikes out of Chicago? They were along the line similar
What about,
vein to what you guys do.
It was off Broadway.
Material
Broadway,
Issue.
fantastic.
Material issue. His the last time he ever performed live was with, he came up for I think the last night the Thirsty Whale was open. We closed the Whale, and it was a big place in Chicago to play, and he came up and did Revolution with us, and like a couple days later he was gone.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
I could
crap.
tell he was in pretty bad shape that night. You know? I mean, I was like, well, hey man, just hang with me. Here to do a blast, have a drink, and be fine.
Oh boy.
The head
Oh,
wasn't
no.
in that direction. That's one time where I might have been right.
Yeah. you might have
Well,
been.
before we get off here, just like the other folks that we've had, my musical heroes, I've always had to tell them, thank you for the great music over the years. It enriches our lives. I mean, music to me is like breathing, and your compositions, your songs, your performances have added a lot to my life. So now that I've got you here, thank you.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
You're the guy. You're the.
That's
He's
me.
the one that bought all the shit,
That's
Donnie.
me.
He bought it all. I wondered why I couldn't get a damn CD. He's got them.
I got them all.
Hey, I'll just get your info. I'll send you guys a couple flash drives.
I'd love
Sweet.
it.
Okay.
Love it.
Well, I can reach out to.
DonnieV.com.
I'll just reach out
You
to
can go in
Mike.
there. Mike. Oh, Mike from the label.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still new with these guys. You know, it's like every day they're adding another person to the team thread, and I'm like, I'm feeling more and more special. Every guy that's on there can
Hey,
ask for
enjoy
me.
it. This is
Yeah.
a big birth for you. I feel that there's going to be good things coming.
I do too. They're adding all great talents, Donnie. You're
Labels
right
these days
there.
is one guy, you know, and is at home in his, you know, his living room. That's his office. You picture a guy's got an office now. This was one guy sitting there on his phone. That's the
his
whole label.
phone.
I've been on that label. Bill's Records there. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I've taken up a lot of your
No,
time.
this is
No,
fantastic.
we're loving it. We're
Oh
loving
my
it.
God, I could shoot the shit with you all day. All right, so go over. All right, Donnie, give them the website again.
DonnieV.com.
Go to DonnieV.com.
And-
Give the link is down below. Give Donnie some love for God's sakes.
Yeah, come on. Just look at me. I could use some
He
love.
needs love. But
Oh.
also the single
Oh.
that just
Share the love, stop the hate, save the world.
Yeah. All 4 solo albums, trust me, you want to get them, and the latest one, especially. If you have to make a choice, get Beautiful Things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you had to make a choice of the whole thing from the first record, Enuff Z'Nuff, all the way till now, I would say get that one.
There you go. There, you've heard it. You've heard it.
Yeah.
From the man.
Anyway, Donnie Vie recently assigned to Wicked Cool Records. The single, Plain Jane, came out February 6th. Available as a 7-inch single, digital download. Go over to DonnieVie.com. Get yours today, kids. Give him some support. The Warehaus, it's all about supporting these artists, and it's all about the music. That's all we care about.
Yeah, we either that or we're going to be a thing of the past, man.
I know.
You know, at least that's another thing about the label. It's where it's the real McCoy over there. You know what I mean? You guys can sit down with an acoustic guitar and play their song, you know, and it's still a song. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a
Exactly.
Yeah. So
The humanity is not lost in the process.
We're a dying breed. I mean, they're still out there. It's just that, you know, you gotta be real good with the computer and things like hustle, stuff like that. You know, I think it has more to do with,
probably
than originality and creativity these days. So,
well,
but what do I know? I don't listen to music.
yeah, he gave it up.
Yeah, I don't know. Just talking to shit.
Well, give me, let's see, before you go. Yeah, but when you listen to music, what would
I like? I like Youngblood.
Give me 4 albums that you think really influenced you the most.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no! Put him on the spot.
It'd have to be, you know, like the Beatles records, and I couldn't
Beatles.
tell you any one. You know, I liked the middle period. You know, right? The 65,
Revolver, Rubber
66
Soul.
period, you know, but I liked all of them. You know what I mean? I'd say, yeah, those records, and probably the Jackson 5 record. I you know, I didn't have any records. I had tapes. I used to record. My other friends had records. I couldn't afford them, so I had a tape recorder, and I got it with S&H green stamps. I bought a tape.
Attaboy.
Yeah, and it came with the thing, and I would tape their records, and I learned. And that's how I learned everything. I even learned some songs where they as the batteries are dying down. I still hear it in my head. I still hear the record, like the songs going like that. But yeah, that's I would say that, and my first record had a lot of impact on me, and I don't know. Maybe the Disciples of Soul record. I would probably have to say
That's probably a good one to mention.
Yeah, the greatest hits.
All right, kids. Donnie Vie, ladies and gentlemen, go to DonnieVie.com, check it out, show him some love, get the new single. Donnie, thanks for coming on. Plain Jane.
Hey man, they needed a song. You know, how many songs are there about the sexy hot chick? You know, every single record is full of songs like that. What about the good girls, the girl next door? You know what I mean? Yeah. So they needed a song. I figured, all right, I'm born to that market. I hit that song.
True professional.
Those are the good ones, though. They are.
Yes, sir.
You gotta have eyes in the back of your head with those, you know, those smokers.
You might get hit in the back of the head with a vase.
Yeah, you edited that out, too.
No, it's too good. All right, everybody. We'll see you, Donnie. Thanks for doing it.
Man.
Thank you, Donnie.
Keep you posted when it comes out. And everybody, please like, subscribe, check out DonnieVie.com. Give him some love, and we will see you on the next one.
Thank you so much. Have a good one, guys.